It was the whisper that shattered everything. Soft as silk, but sharp as a blade hidden in the folds of my wedding gown. There I stood. Emily Hayes, 32 years old. In the glittering ballroom of the Lakeside Grand Hotel in Chicago. The city lights twinkling like false promises through the floor-to-ceiling windows. The air smelled of champagne and fresh-cut roses. But beneath it all lurked the metallic tang of betrayal. My mother, Evelyn, leaned in close during the reception. Her breath warm against my ear. "We're keeping the gift money, darling," she murmured. Her hand patting my arm like it was a done deal. "Your sister needs it for her new apartment deposit. You understand, right?" Her eyes sparkled with that familiar mix of expectation and entitlement. As if my life was just another chapter in their endless story of sacrifice for Sophia. Always for Sophia. I didn't flinch. Not outwardly. Inside, though, something uncoiled. A quiet rage that had been simmering for years, fed by every overlooked slight, every stolen opportunity. My husband, Alex, caught my eye from across the room where he was laughing with his brothers. He tilted his head, concern flickering in his steady gaze, the man who'd seen me through late-night breakdowns, who'd held me when the weight of family obligations threatened to crush me. But in that moment, I smiled back at my mother, wide and serene. "Of course," I whispered. It wasn't agreement, it was the first thread in a web I'd been weaving in silence for far too long. Growing up in the bustling suburbs of Chicago, I'd always been the steady one. The anchor in a family that treated me like a buoy they could tie their sinking ships to. I worked my way through college at Northwestern, double majoring in computer science and business, landing a job as a project manager at TechForge Solutions right after graduation. By 30, I'd climbed to senior project lead, overseeing multi-million-dollar software implementations for Fortune 500 clients. Success came from grit, from nights spent coding fixes while my peers partied. But my family? They saw me as the reliable wallet, the one who had it together so they could fall apart. Sophia, my younger sister by 4 years, was the golden child, the artist, the dreamer, the eternal victim of circumstance. Her graphic design freelance gigs never quite took off, always derailed by bad luck or toxic clients. When her marriage to that slick real estate agent crumbled last year, amid whispers of his affairs, my parents rallied around her like she was the only casualty in a war. They'd call me at 2 a.m. Voices thick with worry. "Emily, can you spot her a few thousand for the divorce lawyer? She's so fragile right now." I'd wired the money the first few times, biting back the resentment as it drained my savings for the house Alex and I dreamed of, a cozy 3-bedroom in Lincoln Park, with a yard for the dog we planned to adopt. But the asks never stopped. In 2018, they'd borrowed my emergency fund $12,000 I'd scraped together from overtime to bail Sophia out of credit card debt from a failed online boutique. "She's got such creative energy," my father, Robert, would say, his voice booming like a sales pitch. He ran a small accounting firm downtown, crunching numbers for local businesses. But somehow his own family's finances were always in chaos. "You're the practical one. You understand stability." Practical. The word stung like a backhanded compliment. Code for invisible. For expendable. By 2020, when Sophia accidentally used my login for a high-limit credit card to book a spa retreat in Napa, I needed to heal from the breakup. "Sis, my credit score tanked just as Alex and I were applying for our first joint loan. I spent months fixing it, arguing with creditors while my parents dismissed it as sisterly sharing. Then came the cosign pressure for Sophia's art studio lease in Wicker Park, $35,000 annual commitment. I refused. And the Cold War began, missed birthdays, Pointed silences at family dinners. My mother sighing. Family means helping each other. Emily. Don't be selfish. The wedding planning amplified it all. Alex and I met 5 years ago at a tech conference in San Francisco. He's a software engineer at a startup. Calm and kind. The opposite of the drama I'd grown up with. We wanted simple vows at Lakeside Grand. A venue with its elegant marble floors and Lake Michigan views that made everything feel possible. But my family turned it into a battlefield. Sophia begged to be maid of honor when I chose my best friend from college. Lisa. She wailed over FaceTime. It's always your way. Isn't it? Even your special day has to exclude me. My parents echoed her, guilting me until I added her as a bridesmaid just to stop the tears. We paid for everything ourselves, $50,000 total. Scraped from savings and bonuses. Let us chip in, my mother insisted. But I knew the strings attached. No thanks, I'd said firmly. Still. Rumors spread, my aunt called. Confused. Your parents said Sophia helped fund the flowers. That's so sweet. Lies. All of it. Painting Sophia as the hero while I was the ungrateful one. The ceremony itself was a haze of joy tainted by undercurrents. Walking down the aisle. Alex's eyes locked on mine. His squeeze of my hand a silent, we're in this together. His family cheered genuinely, mine clapped politely. My father glancing at his Rolex. Sophia's smile brittle in her designer bridesmaid dress, bought on my parents' dime. No doubt. At the reception. As guests slipped envelopes into the crystal-adorned gift box, I felt a flicker of hope. That money, projected at around $40,000, would kickstart our home reno. Our future. But watching my mother hover near the table, adjusting cards with that proprietary air, dread crept in. And then her whisper hit. Confirming every buried fear, they were taking it all for Sophia's fresh start. I didn't explode. Not then. Years of swallowing hurt had taught me patience. The kind that builds like pressure in a fault line. Instead, I danced with Alex. Cut the cake. Tossed the bouquet, Sophia caught it. Of course. With a triumphant squeal. As my family left with the gift box tucked under my father's arm. My mother hugged me tightly. Such a beautiful day. We're so proud. Sophia added. Can't wait to plan mine someday, maybe borrow your planner? I nodded. My smile a mask. That night, in our honeymoon suite overlooking the city, I confessed to Alex. They stole our gifts, I said. Voice trembling now that we were alone. His jaw clenched. Fury flashing in his eyes, the protective anger I'd never seen from my own family. That's criminal. We call the cops now. But I shook my head, pulling out my phone to show him the files I'd prepared in secret. I have a plan. Let them think they've won. What they didn't know was the fortress I'd built over the years. Brick by silent brick. After the credit card fiasco, I'd consulted a lawyer at Harlan and Associates, a no-nonsense firm in the Loop. Sarah Harlan had leaned back in her leather chair. Do you want protection? Or do you want freedom? Freedom. The word echoed like a forbidden dream. We started with an LLC for a rental condo in Evanston, near Northwestern, bought cheap. Rented to grad students, netting $2,800 monthly after mortgage. Then investments, $170,000 in index funds and a 401k. Grown from skipped vacations and side gigs freelancing code. The crown jewel? Lakeside Grand itself. 8 months before the wedding. It hit foreclosure auction after the owner's scandal. Alex and I were venue hunting on impulse. I bid through a shell corp Sarah set up. Won it for a steal. Renovated discreetly. We booked our wedding at cost. But no one knew I owned it, not even Alex at first. Until I confessed my fears. 2 weeks pre-wedding. After overhearing my parents brag about helping with costs they hadn't touched, I had Sarah draft a gift trust, all monetary presents to me and Alex solely. Irrevocable. We had it notarized. Witnesses including Alex's parents. I added hidden cams at the venue, focused on the gift table, and hired a forensic accountant to catalog every envelope. Scan checks. Note givers. Post-wedding. The peace was eerie. Work consumed me, leading a major ERP rollout, while Alex and I nested in our fixer-upper. My mother called. Sophia's apartment is perfect. Thanks to the help. You okay with that? I murmured vaguely, letting the silence stretch. Inside, the tension built. A slow burn toward eruption. Mother's Day brunch at the exclusive Windy City Club was their tradition. My father loved parading his perfect family. I arrived late, in a crimson dress that screamed confidence, carrying a sleek portfolio. They were toasting my parents, Sophia, uncles, grandparents, old friends. My mother mid-sentence about family bonds when I interrupted. Voice steady but laced with ice. Bonds? Like the ones you broke by stealing $38,900 from my wedding. The room froze. Forks clattered. I opened the portfolio, ledger of gifts. Totals bolded. Screenshots of my mother lifting the box. Sophia counting cash in a side room. Copies of checks addressed to Emily and Alex Hayes for your new beginning. My father's face reddened. What nonsense is this? Theft, I said. Volume rising. Conversion. And lies, like telling everyone Sophia paid for my venue. Sophia burst into tears. I didn't know. Liar. The cams showed her glee. Alex's mom, Clara, whom I'd invited as backup, stepped forward. This is despicable. Whispers rippled through the club. My cousin Mia filmed discreetly from afar. I filed suit, I continued, flipping to the complaint. Frozen accounts where you deposited checks. Repay every cent plus $5,500 damages by June 10th. Or court and public shame. My mother gasped, we're family. Family doesn't rob each other, I shot back. Then the bomb, by the way. I own Lakeside Grand. Bought it last year. And the Evanston rental? Mine. Investments? $200,000 now. All without your help. Shock rippled. Sophia's sobs halted, eyes wide with envy. My father blustered, you can't humiliate us. Like you humiliated me? I closed the portfolio. Happy Mother's Day. I walked out, heart pounding, but shoulders light. Clara and Alex flanking me in the spring sun. They didn't pay by deadline. Suit filed, media pounced. Chicago bride sues family over stolen gifts. Mia's video viralized on Instagram, 1.5 million views. Comments raging against toxic parents. Sophia's influencer gig tanked when sleuths spotted her new Gucci purse. Bought days post-wedding funded by our money. Her followers fled, sponsorships dried up. My mother's charity board ousted her. Father's clients questioned his ethics. His firm losing contracts. Court was swift, evidence ironclad. Judge ruled full restitution plus damages, paid that day. Grudgingly. Alex and I toasted on our porch, to real family. Sophia texted apologies turning to blame. You destroyed us. I replied, choices have costs. I'm done paying yours. Thanksgiving? We hosted chosen family friends. Alex's kin. Colleagues. No tension. Just warmth. My mother's text, come home. Apologize. Deleted. No response needed. Promotion came in winter, Director of IT Strategy. Fat raise. We vacationed in Hawaii. Guilt-free. Back home. A letter. Parents downsizing to Florida. Dumping my old stuff. I collected boxes from the empty house yearbooks. Mementos. My mother appeared. Sophia's coming with us. Helping Dad's remote work. Patterns unchanged. Wish you well, I said. Her plea, forgive us. What for? The favoritism? Abuse? Theft. She stiffened. I left. Door clicking shut on the past. Our anniversary, cozy cabin in the Wisconsin Dells. A text from Sophia, not moving. Things toxic. Talk. Hesitation. Then, maybe. Start with truth. Dots danced. Vanished. Okay. I set the phone down. Turning to Alex by the fire. The pain lingered, a scar. Not a wound. But in its wake? Freedom. Clarity. The price of revenge wasn't vengeance itself. It was the silence I'd endured. The self I'd reclaimed. Sometimes, betrayal gifts you the strength to walk away. To build unbreakable. And in that, I found peace.